Hello and welcome back to another episode of Space Engineers. As we have been continuing on, last episode we built our giant upgrade to our trailer there and left our what would it be, the salvage claim that we were scavenging, and we have headed out off to the next waypoint, which is 16 kilometers away. And I would like to see if I can get to them. Can I get half of that done today? I wonder. We spent the last episode not traveling at all, and I think this episode we can spend a fair amount of time traveling. This terrain frightens me. But our rover is built for this, and our trailer has all of the axes of motion, so it can keep up without braking. Excellent. And we have a storm coming in. Very soon we shall get to the morning. The sun shall come over the horizon and our solar panels will give us some power. I'm thinking it would be really good to add on to the trailer here is you see that area right at the very front that isn't occupied yet. I'm thinking I can add in a small grid, like full-size ore refinery there, and I could get it with the power efficiency upgrades on it, and then I could actually put some modules there. So that would make life a lot easier when it comes to refining all my stuff. I wouldn't have to be running off these basic refineries. They're 120 kilowatts, which is my main power draw right now. As you can see here as I'm driving along, oh, there's the sun. Yes. It is coming up. As I'm driving along, under just like sort of coasting, I'm getting a couple hours of power remaining. But if I go to those refineries and shut them off, you can see that it instantly jumps up to about 5 hours of power. So they are my main draw right now. This storm is not what I needed. Oh hey, iron and nickel. Why don't I mark that up? And I'm going into my GPS menu. I know it's just easier to just copy a previous one than to type all that out. The other one was from the other day. Unknown signal, whatever. I'm not going to visit you. And there we go. Come on, storm. Let up. I want some power through my solar panels here today. I want to get everything processed, which I should probably turn my refineries back on. Yes, they chew power, but I do have... Oh my, there's a ravine. While they do chew power, we do have a decent amount of power remaining. And also, we have a lot of ice on board. So that we could do a good amount of recharging off of my hydrogen. Is this... This ravine... Okay, let me just park here for a second. Is this, like, something I need to build across here? My battery. We'll turn you on. And we'll remote access the scout drone. And let's take a look. Oh, yeah. There is... This is a ravine. So that's where I came from. I was just over there. And I think I crossed this thing at like a really low point over there. Back in that direction. So, can I drive around this? Wow, that looks like it continues on for a very long time that direction. I mean, it is not the direction to the alluvial plain. So, I think this is actually a a time to build a bridge. Or, ooh, maybe there. No, I think I can drive that. That doesn't look too scary. This isn't like a cliff ravine. That's actually the dirt. Yeah, okay, I can drive it over there. So a little bit further along, and I'll be able to get across. But I'll cut left because there's resources right there, so that I can mark those up. Got to keep my scouting up. Got to keep figuring out where things are, so that later on, like next season, when I want to build stuff here, I know where all the resources are. So we'll come back on down for a little snatch in there. And then I think I'm just going to put the battery turning off onto the bar here. So I can just go boop. And now that's off and parked. Wonderful. So a bit to the left, and we'll continue on. But man, it's been such an adventure going on this so far. Normally it would be like you build your base and then it's just all focused on like industrial capacity. How quickly can you get a refinery and a cargo space to process all of the stuff that you're bringing in? Where this, I have to think about so many different things at once. Oh, the weight balance, is my trailer hitch, you know, gonna work properly? All that kind of stuff. It's fun. Which reminds me, I need to check on my food. I have some tofu packs. My hydroponics farm is making algae soy products. So, let me just park real quick here. Algae soy products, and then we've got our food protein resequencer. That is full. For some reason it has steel plates in it. For some odd reason. Let me pull some of those steel plates onto my person. Can I get those out of there? Please. Put them in the survival kit. Okay, good. Now I can get the algae over here. And we can use that algae, or algae, or however I'm supposed to pronounce it, to make a bunch of tofu. And we have tofu here, and I think today I want to eat some... Oh my god, we can almost make it out of the animal meat. I think I want to make some natso beef burger and fries. Make a dozen of those. That will be excellent. So I can eat a dozen burgers. An extremely balanced diet. But getting that running so that we don't have to worry about it in the future. Oh, I've already shot past what I was meaning to cross. It means I drove... Oh. Jeez, the trailer almost... See, that's the thing, is I can't do a really tight turn with the trailer with these types of wheels on it. Somebody was showing me the designs they use for like really long like trucks. I think they're like truck trains almost, and they have a device on them such that the front set of wheels here will turn, and like it's on a rotor essentially. So this front set would be separated and rotate underneath it compared to the back set of wheels, so that there would be a little bit extra sort of give. And I might in the future have to redesign this trailer, because I just used the same wheelbase. I might have to actually make a proper trailer for it, but whatever. It just means I can't take tight turns right now. What is this? This is just cobalt. It's so easy just to copy and paste, so I'm doing that. There we go. And we are off. Right there will be our crossing. I was thinking we might have had to build a bridge, but it's kind of nice that we can just drive across here. thankfully we found sort of the shallow spot to ford the river in that essence on our little cattle train here that we're pushing. And power up out of the ditch. Drive, 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 drive. Very good. Our solar panels are aiming towards the sun, giving us all the power we can possibly get from it. Yes, please. How are they doing? They're getting 63%, these solars. So not the best, but hey, that is free power. Ooh. There's a new thing on the horizon there. The Blanchard Mine. 3 kilometers away. In this direction. It is off the side, but it might be another of those abandoned settlements. Now, we're really full right now. Like, our inventories are full. So it's a Blanchard Mine. So we really don't need more stuff, but we can at least take a look at it. So we shall go and boot up the Scout, do what it does best, and that is go take a look. So we can remote access into the Scout drone and take off. Now let's make sure that the antenna, it's set for 1 kilometer. Let's go to, yeah, it's 1 kilometer away from the rover. Should be more than enough. We can just go up a little bit and we can take a peek out in the distance. Yeah, it looks like another settlement of some kind. Definitely a turret there. Probably more defenses that we can't see. Some interior turrets and such. I'm not sure if I need to raid it, because like, I just don't have the space. Like, I would have to probably park there for several days in order to get enough like cargo space on the rover in order to take anything with me. Because right now, I'm full. But while we're up here, might as well, we'll go a bit higher. We can get 1 kilometer away, so we're about 500 meters up. And we can take a peek at the horizon. Doesn't seem to be anything interesting in our way towards the alluvial plain there. But random tree. No oases. Just a bunch of desert. Alright. Well, we know that it exists. Is that a... I think that's a solar panel on that thing. Yeah. I'll have to come back there in the future. Because I just don't think there's a need for me to come get it right now. And come on in nice and fast. Woo! Slow down, my spotter drone. Can't have you coming in and having a hard landing, especially not on top of the rover. But look at those solar panels bend over. They're just getting all that power. Oh, it's beautiful. And lock back up. And turn back off. Speaking of which, how much power did you have left? You had 93%. Oh, you're just laughing. You've got tons of power. Now what I'm thinking for, because eventually I'm going to have to upgrade this rover again. I mean, well, realistically, I could spend the rest of the series in this rover, but that would be kind of boring. I should build something else. I'm thinking that it might be time to move to large grid with my rovers. With that, there's so many different options. And I kind of want to keep this current rover and sort of just take it along with us. So I want to almost build a large grid rover that I can have an internal parking garage, essentially, that is at least big enough for the bison. Maybe I leave the trailer behind or disassemble the trailer, but I want to keep the bison together as a separate piece, because then I have the ability with that large grid rover, more like a mobile base at that time. That thing can take the easy path, and it can go just like, okay, we'll set it up, it'll drive this direction. I could probably almost put that thing on autopilot if I make it nice and big with proper suspension built into it and such. And then, oh, there's something interesting over there. I don't want to take the giant rover over to it. Let's lower down the cargo ramp and let's drive out the bison and drive it over to that thing and check it out. I think that would work out wonderfully. I want some more ice to mark up. Boop. More ice. Excellent. And considering that this episode has been relatively uneventful. I mean, thankfully in the last 2 episodes, we spent our time getting a bunch of supplies and recharging this thing completely almost. So we're running on some good battery power, which considering, yep, at 69%, we're doing okay with that. We don't have to worry about power for probably this episode or maybe even the next one. Yeah, we can just make a lot of distance. Considering, last time we didn't make any distance. But I see trees. Does that mean oases? Please, can it mean oases? I want one. I would like to gather some more organics. Even though I don't really need them at the moment, but I still want them. Because having extra supplies always makes me feel good. Oh, magnesium. Wait, where? Okay. Oh, this little... Alright, I got a trailer. I gotta back up like I have a trailer on. Oh, that's something I never learned in real life. How to maneuver my truck with a trailer. Thankfully, I've never had to do that. I've never had to put on a trailer, and I never will, because I'd be afraid of destroying the world if I was driving around in a trailer. New or magnesium? Excellent. And, oh, hopefully, trailer twist on me. Good, good, good. Stay upright. Excellent. It's kind of an oasis. At least there's grass here. But, we got a tree. Hi, tree. Bye, tree. As we continue on. It'll probably be something like the, It's kind of funny, I just played, the campaign of Halo 4 recently. And I'm just like, hey, that mammoth thing that you drive the warthogs in and out, I can make that in Space Engineers. It's like I could just make myself like a mammoth, and it would be a perfect name for it too. Just make myself a giant rover, large grid, and call it the Mammoth, and then park the bison inside of it. What do we got there? Oh, that's still the mine showing up as an enemy contact. Is this... Ooh, rocky terrain? A little bit. Nothing I have to worry about. Excellent. Then I can really get into processing my materials. Get a large cargo container in there somehow. Get a full-sized refinery running. A resource processing station. Ooh. Where is that? It's 9 kilometers away. No, 9.8 kilometers away. I remember when I scouted the planet, the alluvial plain was kind of a sort of a separation between one type of terrain and another. Of course, if you know any geology, you know what the alluvial part means. Essentially, it's a place where water is running through. Cobalt here. Cobalt. Doot. Mouth of a river pouring out into a larger body of water and causing sediment to deposit there. So we are actually going to be moving into like a different type of terrain, and because when I was looking over this planet during my scouting, and coming from a sort of a geographer's mindset, because that's what I do for a living, and I'm going for the unknown signal, in case you hadn't noticed, I abruptly changed course. I flew around this planet. It was so interesting. Like, there's obvious signs that there was water on this planet at some point, and that the planet dried up. It's a much better analog to the sort of our real world Mars compared to what the in-game Mars is here in Space Engineers. Because the in-game Mars is like just almost just sand dunes and such, which isn't correct. I mean, if you removed all this foliage and you made it a little bit redder, this is what Mars would be like if you were on the surface. Rock outcroppings, really old canyons and water features and stuff like that. You know, erosion from water. So yeah. I thought it was really interesting the way to design this planet. Well designed. Because you can look at it and you go like, now this actually has a history. This planet was something else in the past. It has changed. And that begs the question of like, how did it change and why did it change? Which just, you know, proves the story of it. Gives you as the player some speculation that you could stick in. You can make yourself a scenario as, you know, you're exploring the planet and you're trying to figure out where that water has gone. What happened to the planet? But here we are. It's an unknown signal, which hopefully is going to give me some food. I want a little bit more meat. Because we just have enough. We just have enough meat to probably make a steak. And I want more steak. Oh, it's such a beautiful rover. Alright. Yeah. Get over. Oh wait, there's your button right there. Special content. Cow gloves. Ooh. There's another mine over there. God, the abandoned structures mod puts out a lot of stuff there. It causes a lot of things to spawn. Do I need anything from this? The battery is operational. Is there... There's a cargo crate on it somewhere.
Inventory full.
Alright. I have a bunch of stuff in my inventory. So that won't help. And... fertilizer. I don't need that. Oh, well. A little bit of scrap here to break it all down. You can never say no to some scrap. Which I was thinking of. I'm probably going to make a video about what I'd like to see in Space Engineers in 2021. And that's one of them. The Oz Scrap mod that has added in the ability for everything to be, instead of coming down as components, they come down as the specific type of scrap, I think is brilliant. Because it's an extra layer of difficulty setting that you can do for yourself. Now I have to spend power and time to reprocess those back into the raw materials, then reprocess them back into components to then be able to use them again. And there's some efficiency loss in there, so I'm not going to get the, like, if I grind down one armor block's worth of iron plate, I'm not going to be able to make one iron block's worth of iron plate again out of that, which makes sense because we're salvaging it. So I'd love to have that in the game as essentially like a difficulty toggle of like, hey, when you grind, do you get components or scrap? And then like have that settable in the game. Whatever I need to, limit the amount of mods that I put on to my world makes life a little bit easier for me, and also easier for anyone else that wants to, say, copy what I'm doing. If you're trying to follow along and do your own exploration of the planet on a rover, then it's a lot easier if it's like an in-game setting, because I could set up a scenario and then share the scenario on the workshop, and then everyone's got the same scenario, and life is just easy. Ice, ice, baby. Do, 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 do. Ice, ice, baby. There we go. But I think, considering the amount of time I've been recording and such, I think we can actually make it to the alluvial plain in this episode. Probably cut out a bit of this, the travel time, but this episode could just be the hitting the road one. Get some distance on, get some traveling done, while the other episodes are about building and raiding and such. Gotta keep things different and fresh. But let's keep on going. Alluvial Plain is just over 3 kilometers away, so if I make some good time here, I should be there before sunset, because we've still got sun high in the sky, which is excellent for us. So let's get to driving. Wow, the terrain is really starting to change here. As we're coming up to, it's almost like we're driving into the foothills now, with all of the like this elevation change all of a sudden coming up. Nickel. So we'll get in a new position here. Where is nickel all by itself? There we go. Oh, not nickel number 1. I meant that to be just nickel. There we go. Okay. So I thought for the longest time here, I was coming at this from the other side. I thought I was in the high ground, and that I was going to drive down into what would be sort of the old ocean bottom. But what we're driving on now is the low elevation. So, oh, come on, trailer, stop getting so bungled up. Now we've got to drive up into these branching channels. When we get into here, we should definitely want to stay low, because if we get high immediately, we'll run out of space, and that unknown signal, sure. Let's go for it. Oh, come on, rover, you can do it. We're going this way. We've got iron and just iron. because we'll get up to the top here before we get to this unknown signal, and we'll send the, or after we get to it, we'll send the scout drone up, and we'll show you what this geological feature looks like. As then you can see what it means. Okay, that is on top. Oh, didn't want to drive down that ridge too quickly there. So that is on top over there. So yeah, we definitely don't want to go up this ridge because there's no point. We can just go along the side of it. Gotta drive to the unknown signal, and I'll be right back. Okay, looks like it is just up this ridge here. Shouldn't be too difficult to get up here. Especially not if we just get a nice angle and just start pushing our way up. Once we get all lined up and get all of our, what, 12 wheels digging in, we actually have a fair amount of push behind this bison. And, yep, oh, just barely. Look at this thing climb. It is capable. Nice. And we probably don't even need to go to the actual waypoint for the alluvial plain, because this entire area is the alluvial plain. Actually, slightly misnamed there. It's not one of the plain. It's called the alluvial fan, but I screwed that up because I hadn't done that sort of geology for, a very long time. And so when I initially scouted the planet, I got the name for it wrong. And oh my, there is a canyon here. Yeah, I can't go that way. I don't even know. I guess I could. Okay, let's scout drone this. The wind's coming in, which is not good, but we'll get the scout drone up in the air. Get up. Turn on. Remote access. Drone. And... oh, I know what I could do. Oh, I can just do this. Hello, little unknown signal. I'm going to come and steal you. I don't have to get the rover here right away. I can just grab you and bring you back. Yes! Oh, I can do this. Oh, little scout drone. I gotta see what this looks like. Oh, look at the scout drone. It's just so cute, isn't it? It's got its little present for me. Whee! Okay, back into the camera so I can actually tell which way I'm moving. And I can bring it over here. And drop it off. And park back up. Actually, no, before I park back up, I still got, what, 9 minutes on that thing? Yeah, more than enough time. I'm going to fly over here real quick. Is there even a way for me to get up? Is that... ooh, that's drivable. Okay. Yeah, I think so. I think that would be drivable. Barely. That is barely drivable, but it is. But once I get up, then it's easy again. Okay. So, let's get this unknown signal. Then I will show you the train here by flying up a little bit higher than normal. The antenna was set to 5,000 kilometers, 5,000 kilometers, 5,000 meters. And we'll just land this thing real quick here. And go get our unknown signal. Oh, no special item. Is there a cargo crate? There is. Where? Not there. Must be on this end. Come on, push you over. Yeah. There you go. Give me meat. Oh, and money. And some tomatoes. Haha, that's awesome. Deposit all that. I need a little bit of water, please. Thank you. And make sure my antenna is set for 5 kilometers. And we can remote access back into the drone. And hopefully get up above this weather. Might be difficult to see. We gotta wait for this weather to pass, unless I can get out above it. We can go up to 5 kilometers away, so we should be able to get some decent height here. Unless we're actually reaching this thing's operational height. This is it. We have no more operational height. We're actually falling here. And we're going to catch ourselves. Interesting. Okay. This is really hard to see. And I can hardly even see where the bison is now. Oh, there she is. So let's just bring this thing back in for a landing. And then I guess wait until this storm is over. Because, you know, it's kind of getting in the way. And the storm will just not let up. I've driven down from where I was, and I think I'm driving up where I had scouted out with the drone. But I don't know. I try to, you know, check, and this is all I can see. I'm not sure if I'm in the right position here. I need to park myself. We're slowly rolling backwards. I think I'm actually not in the right position. I think I need to be further over there. If I get up to the top of that, I think there's going to be a cliff in front of me. And that is never a good thing, to be driving somewhere and then suddenly a cliff. Any form of driving that involves cliffs is not a good thing. And I need to make sure I don't jackknife with my trailer here, because I can't make it up that hill very well. There we go. And further to the right. I guess further down and this way. Possibly to where... Ooh, jeez. Oh my god, driving during these storms is dangerous. If I had gone off the edge of that, this would have rolled. 100%. Whew. Oh, baby. That was the pants-wetting moment of this episode. For sure. Whew. I guess this is the spot? I still say that with trepidation, because I literally don't know. I should have taken my drone and, like, flown it to where I needed to drive up and, like, laid myself some breadcrumbs with waypoints. But I think this is right. The question is whether or not I have enough wheel power to get up. It looks like I do, but only when everything's lined up and I'm just going straight up the hill. It doesn't look like I can do much more than just drive straight up. But hey, that is working, and this thing is surprisingly adept at climbing mountains. And, oh, there we go. We are in the easy-to-travel area now. So we'll head back this way a little bit. Come on, Storm. Let up. I want to end this episode with me looking over the alluvial plain with my drone. Alright. Travel this way a bit towards the waypoints and the resource processing station, and see what we can find. Ooh, iron. There we go. Mark that. And as we are reaching the top here, the weather is clearing, which is perfect for showing off this geological feature. And we are quite close, 800 something meters away from where I put the waypoint. But considering that the waypoint is down at the bottom of all of this, I really don't want to go down there. So we're just going to park up here and let's just send up the drone to go take a look at what we have. We can turn it back on if I can access the battery. Get back into our little rover and make sure our antenna is good for 5K. We're good. Control scout drone. Take control of its camera. We'll unlock and turn on our dampeners and fly on up. Now, looking at this now and seeing its structure, I might have been wrong in my initial assessment when I looked at this geological feature right at the beginning. So, a little lesson in geology, in case you guys are interested in that. But there's several different ways that a river or something will deposit its sediment. This is obviously looking like a river depositing into an ocean, because there is, like, obviously this area here is a higher elevation than over there. The area that we have been driving through this entire time was ocean, at least ocean floor, comparatively. So this is most likely, it's probably not an alluvial, well, not an alluvial plain, because that would be sort of like around a river. You ever have those places where you have a nice wide flat area and the river sort of meanders and has a bunch of sediment deposited in that sort of corridor? That would be an alluvial plain. This is actually either an alluvial fan, which is designated by this sort of triangular shape, or it's a river delta where it comes into the ocean. It's a little hard to discern because river deltas, they don't tend to be this triangular. Alluvial fans are quite triangular, sort of semicircled out kind of feeling, where deltas are a bit more branchy in every sort of direction. But they both have this sort of, best way to describe it, like a tree diagram of where they come in as one and then they keep splitting as they go forward. Every time they split, there's a deposit of sediment. But obviously, over time, what has happened is the waters have continued to run, even as the water has gotten lower and lower. As you can see, there's actually that canyon there that we had to drive our way across a couple times, is probably cut out by water after the ocean had started to dry up, and then this was continuing to flow, cutting these out deeper and deeper. So yeah, at some point in the past, at least we know for certain, this geological feature is only made by water, or some form of flowing liquid. So there had to be water, running water on this planet in order for this to form. But the question is just like, was this mainly formed, was it like a river delta first, and it was flowing into the ocean? Probably. So I think I miscategorized it when I first was flying around, and I kind of thought about it as I've been playing the last few episodes and going like, didn't I think I miscategorized that. I gotta double check, and I went and checked the geography of it and geology of it, and yeah, I was wrong. It is more than likely a river delta instead of an alluvial plain. So we need to update our waypoint for that, because we have done our scouting. We have figured out that that was the incorrect name for this. So our waypoint here, this is now, actually, it's a river delta. Isn't that cool? But anyway, we've made it to the river delta. We have gotten all the way here from our horseshoe that we started at. And let's just do a little bit of a check-in of how far we have come. So we'll just turn off all of these regular waypoints here. All the ore that I marked this episode. Holy crap, I marked a lot. We've been to the river delta. So where we are now. We started at the horseshoe oasis. And then we went to the canyon oasis. And then we came here. No, sorry, not the canyon oasis. The mountain oasis. So I want to start marking these. With just like a column. So that way we know it's complete. Or some other way I can mark these. I wonder if I can like copy and paste in a little check mark. Maybe. But for now we'll just put a slash there or something like that to denote that yes, we have visited that place. It is done. So we can say we're done those 3. We have to figure out where to go next. But just as a quick update, let's see how far we've come with the spectator camera. We can pop out and we can see that the horseshoe oasis is way over here. Look how far I've come in just these few episodes. Up to the mountain oasis, to hit the dragon's tooth, flew, and then we just drove. We drove all the way through there, and I believe it was right around here somewhere was the, yeah, right here was the place we salvaged the mining expedition, the abandoned location, and we kept driving. We drove this entire distance in this episode, all the way getting to our river delta. And now we need to go further. So we need to choose what is the next location. So we'll turn those off and we'll turn everybody else on. And let's think about where we want to go. We could go to the North Pole. It is 34 kilometers away. The other ones are the Plateau Oasis. There's the South Pole down there. There's also... okay, those are all on the other side of the planet. So that's probably my last trek back, because then the Badlands is what's going to be the last one. And then it's Badlands Horseshoe Oasis is right around here, because that's where the Dragon's Tooth is. So those will be the end. I'm thinking it might be time for me to turn north, because North Pole is 34 kilometers away. South Pole is 49. So Plateau Oasis and the South Pole are really close to each other, so I'll hit them together. So it might be I go to the North Pole and then literally from there go around the planet on that axis down to the South Pole. Not driving past these, but how can I show it on... let's show it on the wheel here. Like, we're right here, we'll go to the North Pole, and then we'll go around this way down to the South Pole, then back up, and then over, which will then end us up in the last bit there. So, overall, we're probably going to drive, like, more than once around this planet. But yeah, I think North Pole is our next goal. 34 kilometers away, that direction. Obviously, going north. And it leaves that resource processing station in our way. And I've got a plan for that resource processing station. I kind of want to take it over. I want to raid it. And possibly use its goodies to start building a large grid rover. But you'll have to see what I have planned for that. this thing is not ready for combat, so we're going to have to make something that is a little more combat efficient. But that will be in the next episode. But for now, we've made really good progress today. Driving like 17, 18 kilometers or something today. In total, probably, with all the zigzagging I did. We did good. That's gonna be it for now. Thanks for watching. And good hunting out there, fellow space engineers. And now let's go get that unknown signal.